What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 26 of my Total Warhammer 3 modded Arkhan the Black campaign. So as we saw last time, King Araru attacked Antok, where we destroyed probably the last remnants of the Cult of Sigmar's forces. They still have the Plain of Tuskers as their last settlement, but with no armies, I don't imagine they'll be able to get something decent up and running before we attack them, which is looking pretty good. This is sort of punishment for them being unable to destroy the Drakenhof Conclave, which would have been real nice for us, but oh well. Looks like we'll have to do it ourselves. Go figure. Arkhan the Black has also moved down through Lost Plateau and will now be heading to Karak-Zorn, where we hope to destroy the last settlement of the Ironbrow's expedition as well. While it would be nice to farm Thoric's trait, I think that in Arkhan's particular situation, there's just too many enemies on all his borders, and we can't have that. We need to whittle down the enemies as fast as we can so we don't have to deal with them. Now, I believe we did everything last episode that we needed to do, so we're able to end the turn pretty much immediately. Unassigned skill points we can skip, though the commandment I guess we can do. Ah yes, we got Agrul Migdal back. So we'll probably be building a few buildings here. Could do a little bit of growth as well. At least for a turn. We got 2 turns until all this is up and running anyway, so let's go for growth here first, Worship of Ptra, and then we'll switch after a turn as well. Alrighty, that looks good. Hero not moved, we know who that is. Outpost available is irrelevant, and same with the outpost upgrades, at least for now. We have other things to spend our cash on. Alrighty, let us with that, I think, end the turn. I'm just wondering whether we should delete these buildings at Bagar or not. Maybe keep them around for now. I'm not sure whether you could actually use some Tomb Guard. And you can't build them out of the Plain of Tuskers, so we take the Plain of Tuskers and then move back to Antok to do that. Actually, speaking of Antok, since we can't build okay, yeah, we're gonna need defenses here. Spend the money. I was about to say, since we can't get a commandment here to reduce the cost, we might as well build those immediately. Oh, Huntazak still has those damn ancient sallies and that feral stag that he did keep alive. We're not able to reach this in one round, are we? No, it doesn't look like it. It's okay. Arkhan will get there eventually, and no amount of dinos will stop him from doing his thing. And the turn now. Oh, okay, he moved very, very slightly. Hopefully that won't mean he's now too close and... What the heck? Doesn't happen out here. Wait, is King Jocked outside of Agrul Migdal? Did I accidentally move him outside it rather than... Huh, weird. Silustra, you want a military alliance? Not unless you show us that you are good to survive without our interference. And really? So Thoric gave up on attacking and instead decided to attack us. Huh. Okay, that's kind of unfortunate and not what I wanted from this, but oh well. Well, it is Thoric, so we are going to fight this cinematically. There's also a few concerning units here. A fairly large number of enemy artillery pieces and the brimstone guns do quite a bit of damage as well. Could actually make for a pretty interesting battle, and it is a Pyrrhic victory. We also have to watch out for Cladbrokak, which does insane amounts of damage. And the cooldown's only 90 seconds, so you just gotta keep the heck away from Thoric and not let him recharge it. Anyway, here we go. Alrighty, here we go. I expect this to be the last battle of Thoric, so let's bid him a nice farewell with a cloud of arrows. That said, I do imagine that this could be quite an interesting battle. The enemy has all those gyrocopters, and they could be very, very devastating to our archer line. If those were 4 Fire Leech Bolas, I would genuinely be very concerned, especially for those watching my Gar campaign. You've already seen just how easily the Fire Leech Bolas can rip apart piles upon piles of skeletons because A, the fire weakness that they have, and B, the tight formations and relative lack of armor. And the gyrocopters can do similar things with their brimstone guns, and they similarly have bombs. So, yeah, they could do a lot of damage. We did get a few shots off with our Chosen of the Gods in the hopes of knocking one of the gyrocopters out of the sky, but unfortunately, that, well, it didn't work out quite so well, and they only took a tiny bit of damage. We're gonna get a few more volleys off and do a little fighting retreat towards our archer lines. Mortars are also going to fire, but the, well, they're not going to do too much if they even land a single shot. But really, it's the gyrocopters that are the main threat here, at least one of them. Honestly, the enemy also has its grudge throwers and its bolt throwers and its got 4 artillery pieces altogether. So we've deployed the Eyes of the Desert Sepulchral Stalkers to charge them, as we will not win an artillery exchange. There is absolutely no way. Not with 2 Vampire Coast mortars. So yeah, gonna be interesting. Alrighty, looks like the enemy's gonna move in, drop some bombs, but fail to hit the Chosen of the Gods. Very, very nice. That was worth it just to waste their bombs, if nothing else. Archer Fire is gonna come in. We're obviously gonna tell them all to focus down the gyrocopters. I actually absolutely love that the gyrocopters are an actual threat in SFO, because they used to be such a joke in vanilla. And very rarely built, especially in campaign. And here they can certainly be quite devastating, especially the brimstone guns. Anyway, looks like the first of them are going to run away, and the second one's actually going to follow suit a little bit. But it's probably going to come back, though I assume not for long as the archers continue to fire. There we go. That's only 2, however, and I assume the damaged ones will come back. Here come the second set, and it looks like they've moved around rather than going through the middle of our army, which will allow them to drop their bombs, I should say, on the skeleton archers. Very nice. At least we get some nice shots out of this, and they will begin firing those brimstone guns and bombing our archers. Gotta be careful. The AI also does a reasonably good job of actually moving on top of your archer units or behind them, so that they have a much more difficult time firing. It really should take continuous advantage of this by trying to move around and force the archer units to sort of turn. But I nonetheless think it did pretty good. In fact, it focused our Blessed Legion here, which are down to 37 units, and are now crumbling away. Granted, the gyrocopters are pretty much out now themselves, but that is a fairly decent use of them, and that is the most valuable unit we have other than the Sepulchral Stalkers, and considering these guys pop corroded armor on the enemy, and they are quite a threat to dwarven armies. So, well done to the enemy, and we're going to try to get these guys off field in the hopes that they survive and we don't have to wait turns, or 10 turns rather, to recover them. On the bright side though, the gyrocopters are out. The main enemy army continues to move towards us, but is not going to be nearly as much of a threat with the Sepulchral Stalkers having taken out the enemy artillery, which they are beginning to do so, and the enemy has kept all of its artillery in a nice convenient blob for us. We're going to charge through and try to reach all the artillery to prevent every single one of them from firing. Well done to the Sepulchral Stalkers. And there we go. Not much chance for the artillery crew, I think. Even if it is a dwarfen artillery crew, not like a Skaven artillery crew or something that would rout at first sign of trouble. Or, for example, the Vampire Coast artillery crew. Anyway, some dwarfen warriors are going to move in, but under fire from a lot of arrows. We did say we'd bid an arrow farewell to Thoric here. Especially considering he's a traditionalist. He likes the arrows, he likes to build quarrelers, and ooh, the crackling, huh? Was that like a shield, or was that just an effect of him casting Clad Brakak? I guess you classed Clad Brakak. Alright, we're just gonna briefly switch here from Thoric to the enemy Runesmith, mostly because he's a much easier target to kill than Thoric, as Thoric is also obviously very, very tanky. Alright, and no, there is Clad Brakak coming down even as Thoric charges our battle lines. And that thing can hurt a lot, so yeah, we don't want him to recover it too many times. Looks like the hit about half the HP on these units of skeleton spears, though Thoric is in trouble himself already at half HP himself. While he's very resistant to range fire like this, especially against basic non-armor piercing archers, that is still just a significant amount of fire. We also have our Chosen of the Gods who are getting in a little bit of a shootout with the Quarrelers here, and we're also making use of our mortars to go for the Quarrelers, who are wasting their time, frankly, going after the skeleton spears. Thoric is almost done. His Runesmith drops having been killed by our Necrotect, or by our Tomb King and the Necrotect together. And now it's just really a matter of making sure Thoric goes down, and the battle will be ours. And there we go, few more shots, I'm sure. That is a lot of arrows. And there we go, we bid farewell to Thoric. He will not be rising again. The Anvil of War, or the Anvil of War, the Anvil of Doom will go down one last time. Almost confused it with the Sigmar Altar of War there. And there we go. Lovely. Now we just got to do our best to chase everything that we can chase, but obviously this particular army is not very good at chasing. That's what our Sepulchral Stalkers are for, and why we want to replace the Skeleton Spears with the Sepulchral Stalkers here. But without them right now, a decent amount of enemy units will escape, including, by the looks of it, at least some of the enemy artillery pieces. That said, as long as this army doesn't back out to the enemy main settlement, to Karagarud, we should be able to chase them down no problem, as we didn't really suffer all that much damage. Granted, we did suffer some in the form of the gyrocopters primarily, and a little bit from Cladbrukak casting lightning upon us, but otherwise, we're fine. Close victory for us. Let's see if we have enough of an army remaining to easily take Karagarud via auto-resolve. Ooh, alright, definitely gotta be careful of those fire-wielding aerial units. Something of an echo of the of my current Krog-Gar campaign. They may not be Fire Leech Bolas, but they're still very decent, especially with our fire weakness and all that. We are going to, let's see, we got 2.2k, which isn't too bad, or we could get more jars. I think in this particular situation, perhaps the money would be better. We are about to build another pyramid after all, and it's going to cost us 12k. Though our money is in a decent situation, let's take the money. And actually, that's not the only thing we're about to build. The Bloody Hands, ooh, have ended our non-aggression pact, okay. Not the best time for it, but at least we have at least a few turns until they attack us. Barrow Legion, you want a military alliance. We will do that maybe someday, if you survive. Really depending on if you survive or not. We'll see about that. I wonder when the Bloody Hands will attack us. I wonder if we could give them something in order to get another non-aggression pact going. What the heck is this? King Jokt, you are being attacked in region Nagrul Migdal. So did I actually not put you in, recently colonized, vigor tired, having... Okay, well that ain't gonna be so great for him. This is actually gonna be quite dangerous. Ooh, you gotta love a dangerous fight. Yeah, the Cygors are definitely going to be an issue. Actually, several things are going to be an issue here. Especially because we have tired vigor. Alright, well, let's see if these guys can manage to pull through. Here we go.
This is well.
Alrighty, here we go. Let's see if we can pull this off. This is probably one of our weaker armies, if not our weakest army currently, mostly because it's reliant on those bright shields as its main line, and they're just not that strong. The stats are pretty okay with Vigor Mortis on them, but without it, 3142, low armor, yeah, it's gonna be iffy. And of course we have our vigor problems due to the recent colonization, but Well, let's see. And the Cygors are probably going to clean house here. Alright, so the enemy is going to begin by sending forth its Beastmen Warhounds towards us. Also, I like this map and the lighting. Towards us and attacking our skeleton spears on the flanks there. Although, of course, we'll try to shoot them with our single unit of hand cannons. We'll see if that actually does all that much. Yeah, the vigor debuff is so significant in SFO that I'm even concerned about the Warhounds ripping us apart. Alright, come on, fire please. There we go. A lot of you are firing over the top of those units for some reason. Yeah, not really killing them as fast as we'd like. Maybe want to replace these things later on with the regular handgunners. Something along those lines. Maybe the range is actually more valuable in this particular situation. Anyway, the rest of our army is engaged, and the main portion of the battle is going to be probably here, where the Minotaurs and the enemy Beast Lord are moving in. There's more Warhounds fighting on this side, but our own Warhounds are countering them, at least decently, together with the units surrounding them. Alright, the Cygor is still firing. There's a shot, and damn, that travels over the ground for quite a while. Alright, let's see. I want to see the damage from that single blow from the Cygor. Pretty good. That was pretty good. I'd say about 15% loss from one hit. Alright, well, and good luck to it. And we will continue. We also got a summoning of more skeleton spear warriors coming in from our priest, our Lich Priest. They will at least help hold the line against the Minotaurs for a little while longer. There's another shot from that Cygor coming in. From a tactical perspective, this army isn't really all that interesting because, I mean, it's just a blob of relatively weak infantry. I mean, ours is a blob of relatively weak infantry. We barely have any range and barely have any fast movers, so we just have to rush the enemy and hope that over time our units will come out ahead. We also want to tie up as many of the enemy units as we can, so our bats will be sent forward, and if they have to be sacrificed for this, well, then they'll have to be sacrificed. At least they're easy to re-recruit, if nothing else. Alrighty, and there's a range unit finally firing at our range unit. Let's see how effective our handgunners, or our hand cannons, I should say, are at this. Looks like some Minotaurs are actually running away from the main line, which is real nice, but they're probably going to come back unless we chase them off, so we might try to commit a few of our dire doggos to that job. The units on the flanks have broken, or at least the Ungors have broken, but while our own units can at least beat Ungors, even if their armor isn't all that much better than theirs. Otherwise, the balance of power is about 80%, I would say, maybe higher even, in our favor, but there are still the Cygors to fight. On top of that, we've sent in our Lord to fight the enemy Lord here, with some support both from the Corpse Cart and a unit of Bright Shields, but it ain't going all that well. We are actually losing... wait. How can our Lord be losing and their unit be losing decisively? I guess it's you losing decisively against all of our units together, but our Lord is losing against theirs. Still a nice little duel for these guys. We gotta remember that our Tomb Kings are not actually built up to be fighters as yet. They're mostly all buffing armies and not buffing themselves. And while that will change eventually, it is obviously better to buff the army in the early portions, rather than buff a single unit. Especially for weaker units like the Skeleton Warriors. Alrighty, and let's see. The result of the duel looks like it's very much in favor of the enemy, and we're actually going to have to get the heck out of here. King Jocht will not survive this engagement for much longer, and is in fact got now a very low HP, and is beginning to crumble away, and not so great. On the bright side, though, most of the enemy Ungors, at least, have been seen off, and we are charging towards those Cygors to finally get them to stop firing. 17k damage, and 160 kills on one, and this one didn't do as well with the kills, but still managed to do 11k damage as well. Ooh, and it's going after our bats. Well, maybe better the bats than the Bright Shields, because the Bright Shields have to be recruited from a very specific location. Anyway, we're gonna leave the Corpse Cart here together with the Bright Shields to continue annoying the enemy Lord, while our own Lord gets the heck out of there. Hopefully, with a little bit of healing can keep him Gonna keep him topped up, and we're even going to move our Lich Priest near him to get a little bit of healing. Would be unfortunate if after all this, he did melt away. More Ungors engaging skeleton spears on the flanks here. And it's spears versus spears, but at least we have shields, and we are now healing with the 3rd level of the Realm of Souls, which means we now have access to Shabti summoning. I'm gonna pop those up to try to hurt this Cygor. Cygors may not be fantastic in melee, but they're certainly good enough to kill a basic unit of skeleton spears, I think. Yeah, by the looks of it, the skeleton spears are in critical binding. That vigor, though, it's kind of hard to test this when the vigor is so debilitating. Alrighty, and the other one is, by the looks of it, not so much losing to the bright shields, I think, but we have been firing on it this, well, maybe not this entire time, but for quite a while with the hand cannons. This isn't really what they're meant for, mind you, but at least they're helping out. Alright, well done to you. And speaking of hand cannons, the other one got very, very badly beat up. I don't remember whether it was by Ungor or by the Cygor, but something hit them hard, and they are now crumbling away. That's alright though, I was considering about replacing them anyway. They're a little bit too weak. We need ringers for this army. We very much need ringers for this army. And especially something that could maybe put a dent in something like a Cygor, or something to bolster our melee line, not necessarily even a range unit. Because it's not like this army, like the others, has a new Shabti or anything like that. We are limited to the Realm of Souls, though at the very least we do have a guaranteed use of Realm of Souls by virtue of the sheer number of our own units that die every time, since they're all basic skeletons. Alrighty, well it looks like this Cygor is out, the second Cygor about to be out as well. The Minotaurs looking like they're wavering, and I do believe the battle should be ours shortly. Fortunately, our Lord did survive, but it was a fairly close call. He did go near the Lich Priest, and the Lich Priest plus the Realm of Souls managed to just barely heal him enough to prevent the crumble. Ooh. Alrighty, the enemy lord is also probably going to survive because we don't really have anything that could chase him down here. But yeah, we're really limited in that regard. We just have the 2 units of doggos, and I guess the unit of bats that we had, but they're done for as well. I could have kept the bats alive by ending the battle, but I figured that we probably want to make sure that we try our best to chase down the Cygors. We've got one down, but the second one is just not taking enough damage from the dire doggos. But yeah, I definitely sacrifice a unit of fell bats in favor of making sure that another Cygor goes down. So it's okay, we can re-recruit them if we actually want to. But I do think that this army needs a little bit of a change, so we're gonna look towards that. Alright, close victory, definitely. We've lost a couple units here, including that unit of hand cannons, but otherwise, at the very least, this army should be in pretty bad shape. Let's see if we can run them down and make sure this darn BEASTMEN faction is gone for good. Alrighty, there we go. Certainly took some losses there, and King Jock got fairly badly beat up himself. Now, the enemy army is heavily damaged, though that one Cygor did escape. We really need to chase it down, though. Gotta prevent it from coming back. Do we need to bind souls and heal up? I feel like we do not. Endless March could be useful here, because we need to chase them. I also want the jars, but do we risk not being able to catch the enemy? You know what, take the jars anyway. We need just a ton to get a new army up and running. Now, is that army still there? Oh, these guys did take Karagorod. Settlement transferred Agrul Migdal to these guys. Okay. Well, you know what? That's probably the most painless settlement that they could possibly have transferred. Ibiamos has been wounded. Oh no, not one of our scouts. Once again, probably not a big deal there. Sanak had that lovely defeat trait for Thoric, and construction infrastructure buildings. Yeah, nice. Charnel Valley, Necrotech getting some of those, and oh, finally, King Jock has his Cambrian Warsphinx, so that'll be helpful. Galderaz has a Plague. We also got a Tormentor's Sword and a Dynasty completion of research. Alright, a bunch of stuff. Now, problem. We don't know where the beastmen went. They moved away, but are once again hidden, and we can't find them. We're gonna move you here, but it looks like they probably moved far enough away. And oh wow, we're trespassing on these guys' territory now. We'll probably have to fight them eventually, but right now is most definitely not the time. Honestly, we'd like them to fight Kairos if possible. They don't like him very much. Zero? Oh, lovely, Teclis, lovely. You do that. You fight Kairos for us. What about Ironbrow? No. Just to make them a little bit friendlier, and by friendlier mostly I mean... Okay, yeah, can't fight the Red Horn Tribe. Damn that Red Horn Tribe. Alrighty, well, let him and Kairos fight it out a little bit. Yeah, we really need to somehow find those beastmen. And honestly, I'm not entirely sure how. They're such a menace to this particular faction, aren't they? As in our faction, mostly because we have poor defenses, and if we can't find them, we can't do much about them. But oh well. You're gonna move here. This army needs a complete retool anyway, so we're going to have to probably try that. This Tomb Prince was actually meant for this army, but I sent him up north in the hopes of finding some of the enemies there. Let's get the Golden Host of Mahrak in here, I guess, because they're significantly better than the Bright Shields, and we could use them to replace our Skeleton Warriors, at least for now. 1, 2, 3, and I guess one of you guys is gonna be 4. Now we can't go into Entomb Beneath the Sands as yet, but we are going to need to be able to, because we need to replace some of these guys, like the zombie part gunnery mob. I honestly haven't been particularly happy with their performance anyway, and we can get better stuff from, for example, the Dread Fleet, with whom we currently have 100 legions. Gotta spend it. Now we also have dynasties available. Or research dynasties. What do we want out of here? We could awaken the Ushabti guy, who's very strong. But honestly, right now, the issue isn't that our armies are fighting and losing. It's more so the fact that we need them where they are so that they can continue recruiting. You are going to follow King Rasfa so we can see you. You are going to go to the Great Desert. And you're gonna start recruiting Ushabti with Great Bow. 4 turns? I don't know if you can stay there for 4 turns. And I just saw something else was available. The Zandri Black Shields are now available as well. Honestly, the Zandri Black Shields, just like the Golden Host of Mahrak, still seems kind of weak. Probably might not even be worth building. Well, at least not via the slower method, i.e. via non-global recruitment. Let's have you, King Rakash, move away. We're gonna go to Lucini and try to take it. Granted, you're probably gonna be needed here, but, you know, we'll see. One of the annoying things about losing Hakrul Migdal is we're gonna upgrade some stuff, though, which we now can no longer do. Oh well. Oh well, now, Sanakt, we need you to do 2 things. To both take Karagorud, which basically has no defenses, and to destroy the remnants of this army. So we'll start with that, after leveling you up, I guess. You have Arrows of SF and Stone Sentinels. Yes, reanimate, finally. And then you, Lich Priest, our highest level Lich Priest, unless I'm mistaken. You can have... We should probably just continue heading towards Arcane Conduit. Let's use Magical Reserves, and then we'll go Earthing and Sackmets. Because we use it quite a bit. Oh wow, yeah. We really need mana. That was kind of a problem as well when we fought that. And then here we need both increased mobility, but Restore has to be priority. Because the Eyes of the Desert, yeah, alright. So, first, attack thick here. He's not going to back away. He actually has to be manually fought, really, for this? I mean, he does still have those brimstone guns. Alright, we're gonna fight this manually super quickly. We won't be able to, by the looks of it, to destroy this faction for good this episode, but it looks like they will fall next turn. Though by then, it looks like the Bloody Hands will declare war on us. I'm really glad that it was Agrul Migdal that got transferred, though. And then New Settlement. At least Kairos isn't being as annoying as he could be. We're gonna start deployment. Yes, we're going to move you up. And then we're gonna keep everybody else back. Like so. Spread themselves out so that the brimstone guns don't hurt them too much. In fact, maybe do this. And then you back here. And wait, we have 2 more somewhere here, so it's you too, alright. Like so and like so. Alright, you guys are gonna move behind the enemy armor, and just like the last battle, you're gonna destroy those artillery pieces. Everybody else is going to head forward. In a bit. Once we annoy the enemy a little bit, they'll probably actually come to us. Alright, like so, like so. Looks good to me. And... yes, alright, away we go. Okay, you guys are hidden, go over there. We have a new white king on the field. You guys move forward as well. Will the enemy move towards us? And also, what do they have? Bolt throwers and grudge throwers. Okie dokie. Are they going to move the gyrocopters forward? Not by the looks of it. I'm going to hide you, chosen of the gods. Let's turn off that skirmish mode. Now let's speed it up a little bit. Alright, try to knock a few of those gyrocopters out of the sky. Fire. And move. Fire. Ooh, damn, bolt throwers are hurting ya. Alright, move, 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 move. And fire. And move again. Move again, don't stand there. Alright, no, that doesn't really work. Looks like we might actually have to move forward. Alright, back off, don't take hits. Rest of the army, let's make you... group, let's say, 2. Like so, start your marching forward. Yeah, we're gonna take some hits, so let's also send you 2 forward. You shouldn't have too much trouble. And I guess mortars are gonna need to go forward as well. Lovely. Alright, rest of you can be group 3, but be careful. Actually, we may want to send you forward and pop a sock mets, though it's not going to be super critical here. Alright, does this annoy the enemy enough? Alright, first of all, speed it back up to normal. Oh, it's so confusing playing at max speed. Sock mets right there. And then back off. You guys, get ready to charge the enemy lord or whoever. And you, chosen of the gods, get ready to attack again. After the gyrocopters. Alright, that is going to probably not do all that much damage, but it's fine. Alright, stay back. You guys head forward. You archers, don't go too far forward. We actually just need you to attack the enemy here and get ready to charge. Now you guys get ready to attack. Lovely. Alright, stop those grudge throwers from firing, please, and let's pop buffs on all of you together. Perfect, and then stay away. Let's also give bleed to the eyes of the desert, and everybody else keep firing. Alright, archers, I'm gonna need you to kill all those damn gyrocopters. Alright, Eyes of the Desert look okay. Are you firing there, chosen of the gods? Hopefully you are. Alright, we got another summon on the field from our mage. Good, battle should be just about over. Alright, just make sure we gotta kill those gyrocopters. Wait, you are attacking the gyrocopters, yes? Yes, okay, good. Alright, grudge throwers are out to you guys. Move away from that. Eyes of the Desert, I mean, turn off melee mode. And, okay, you two go after that, and then we'll go after the gyrocopters with your ranged attacks. Alright, looks like that gyrocopter is nearly done for. There we go. Knock those frickin' things out. Our units are far too fragile to constantly be dealing with these things. Alright, and I think we need another heal. We don't have the mana to heal it. Alright, after this one. And then after this one now, how's that enemy lord looking? Not so great. Let's help out against him. You can also buff yourself up like so. You guys keep attacking. And can we speed it up to max again? In a few seconds we can. Alright, now this army was defeated last turn, so I take it can't move, but just in case, let's destroy it for good. Alright, and I'm gonna speed it up again now. There we go. Battle is done. Just make sure we knock. Oh, you guys aren't leading the brimstone gun. How are you gonna knock it out if you can't attack it? Okay, you guys stop firing. There we go. That thing is dead. Now you. Are there any more bolt throwers alive? Yes, indeed there are. All right, go chase after them. Everybody else doesn't need to do anything. We can chase down the Dwarf Lord without too much trouble, though we actually want to probably stop you guys from firing and stop the mortars, who weren't really going to be of any help in this particular battle, because the enemy would have just hit them back with their own artillery anyway. Alright, that looks good. You guys have chased, by the looks of it, down the enemy. The enemy lord is dead, and one enemy bolter remaining. Nice. Alright. Still a decent amount of damage from the artillery and the aerial units. We'll definitely need a little bit more defenses against them, but, you know, this army was supposed to get a bunch of sepulchral stalkers to act as its main line. It just doesn't have them yet. Only a matter of time. We do have capacity for 2 now, and in a few turns we'll have a capacity for a few more. And that'll hopefully make the army reasonably stronger. Alright, we are going to, once again, I think, take the harvest organs. We need more armies up and running. If nothing else, just to recruit. Alright, good. Enemy killed. You are going to then retake Karagorud. This should, I think, be auto-resolvable. Yes, indeed. And we will occupy it. Considering that the enemy army was already dead there, good. Don't collect income, you can keep the Charnel Plaza for now, we can also turn this off, and there we go. Karagorud is ours, and Arkhan the Black is able to reach Karak-Zorn, which means the enemy has no settlements remaining, or at least it won't after Arkhan destroys it next episode. Lovely. Alrighty, well, that is going to have to wait until next time, because we are out of time and I'm going to call it. But with Thoric dead, although it looks like he has another little army here, I guess we can send King Jock to deal with him if he doesn't again get attacked by the Beastmen. Arkhan's gonna hit Karak-Zorn. Araru is going to hit the Plain of Tuskers, which he just barely can't reach, but that's fine. And there's nobody at Talakwa either. That's interesting. I wonder if we can capitalize on that in any way. Too bad we can't build these guys in 1 turn rather than 2, but that's fine. This is why we really want to gather these canopic jars. Gotta get another army up and running. And though I do wonder whether it would be more effective to wait until we have the 1600 necessary to unlock the next one, or whether it would be better to go for all of these and then unlock the next one via the Heralds Empowered. Though I take it this probably also costs some research time. Actually, I wonder how much. Let's see. Heralds Empowered 15, so there's 7 here. So 8 turns, eh? That's still fairly significant. Just as much time as it would take to unlock another dynasty this way. But of course, this way we wouldn't lose any research rate. And we would get these things at the same time. Still, it seems like we're probably better off just researching the next dynasty. We may want to stop on by a few of these things first, maybe unlock Lamizage or something, but for now I think we keep gathering canopic jars as much as possible. Yeah, don't bother with the heralds. Honestly, if we could pop one of these at the same time as a Mortuary Cult Awakening, that would be just swell. Anyway, I'm going to figure out which one of these later on. We'll do that at the next episode. Destroy the Cult of Sigmar, destroy the Ironbrows Expedition, and move on towards our next targets. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.